Shalom. We'll get started in just a few moments. Hey, Shalom up. Brother GMS Virgin Island Straight Gate, Shalom. YAHAWASHI. Let's see. Just a few moments, Baba Kasha, and we'll get started. Alright, hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto my power, YAHAWAH, Bashim YAHAWASHI, Bashim HaKodash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father. His true name in the Hebrew is Yahawah. In his son's name, who the word in the call Jesus Christ. Real name in the Hebrew is YAHAWASHI. Also give praises, honor, and glory to the HaKodash, the Holy Spirit, which is the force and entity that makes this edification possible. I want to say Shalom to all you sincere-hearted Akim, Wa'akwat, that's you brothers, and few sincere sisters make your bodies a living sacrifice on a daily basis in this wicked and adulterous generation. I also want to give double honors unto my beloved apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth and who rule well. And I'm the brother Osmawath here from the Great Millstone Dallas camp. All right, coming back this morning through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI to do another lesson. And Lord's will, this lesson will be edifying unto the elect of the nation of Israel and glorifying unto the names of my power, Yahawah, Bashim YAHAWASHI. And as you can see the title of the lesson, all right, we'll be going into, it says, righteousness will soon be back in style. All right, righteousness will soon be back in style, man. You see, because all we've ever known and seen here in this world, all right, as it's governed and operated, all right, by the wicked, Esau, Edom, as scriptures say in Job 9:24, for the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, all we know and all we see and have been acquainted with is wickedness, man. All right, and ultimately the Lord had all this to play out, all right, so it could be a learning experience for the sons of God, okay, so we can actually truly appreciate righteousness, so we could truly appreciate, you know, a world that's flourishing, all right, underneath the obedience of Yahawah, Bashim YAHAWASHI, and the fear of the Lord, all right. But the Lord, all right, caused us, you know, to allowed us to suffer a great fall as the sons of God, all right, and see what it's like, all right, for this world to be governed by the serpent, okay, because that's what the serpent, all right, which in these times he comes in a reincarnation as Esau, Edom, all right, that's all right, that's how he runs his kingdom, all right, it's through wickedness, through trying to come up some other way, promise you life and peace outside of the confines and regulations of Yahawah, Bashim YAHAWASHI, which that has turned into our detriment, and you see the results of it. All right, we live in the results of, all right, the serpent being in rulership. All right, nothing but death and chaos and disease. All right, confusion. Men want to be women. Women want to be men. All right, children having no respect unto their parents. All right, just a society to where no one thinks of their creator. All right, so I just want to, you know, briefly touch into this topic. You know, righteousness will soon be back in style. And this righteousness that we're speaking of, okay, is ultimately the righteousness that comes from the Most High, which is YAHAWASHI. And it comes with the teaching, all right? It comes with the teaching, all right? And the Lord has given us the spirit of life, all right, the Holy Spirit here in these times, all right, starting with the elect, all right, the hopefully elect, Lord's will, we be a part of that number, all right, and part of this breath of life, all right, now we can sing this new song, all right, because we're Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, which means teaching of peace. All right, so this doctrine that we're teaching, all right, this is what's ushering in righteousness, all right, to come back upon the earth. All right, so I want to grab this real quick, and as a few scriptures coming to mind. It's going to be a short lesson. Just want to get in and get out, all right, to put this in the ears of the elect, because this is what we should be focused upon every day, man. Should be our endeavor, okay, is to be righteous ourselves and to push forth righteousness. So this is the book of 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 31. I'm going to get to the point. And the main point I want to get on the scripture is the latter half of it. So this is 1 Corinthians 7 and 31. It says, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. And that's the point. All right. The fashion of this world passeth away. And what's the fashion of this world? All right. Well, ultimately, all right, the ways of the so-called white man, it's all passing away. You see? So what's going to be what's going to replace it? All right, the kingdom of heaven, righteousness. You see? And that's going to come ultimately by judgment. See, judgment is the answer. That's how righteousness is going to come back in style. It's going to take the heavy hand of YAHAWASHI, okay, that right hand of the Most High, all right, to bring judgment upon this place. This is Psalms chapter 72, a psalm for Solomon, which this was written by King David. All right, but it was written for Solomon, which when you go into it, all right, Solomon himself, he didn't fulfill this. All right, this is going to be, all right, fulfilled by YAHAWASHI, which also is more proof that YAHAWASHI is Solomon. And what does Solomon's name mean? Peace. You see? So that's what we're here for, man. We're here for peace. All right, but we understand in order for peace to come, there has to be war. There has to be a reset, okay, and righteousness. So this is Psalms chapter 72 from the top. It says, give the king thy judgments, O power. And that's exactly what the Most High has done. He's given his judgments unto his son. As we read in the book of John, the 5th chapter, YAHAWASHI himself says, for the Father judgeth no man, but have committed all judgment, or have given all judgment unto the Son. So it says, give the king thy judgments, O power. And that's why you're supposed to reverence YAHAWASHI and worship YAHAWASHI. Kiss the Son unless he be angry, because he has the judgments of the Most High. He has the judgments of his Father. And the Heavenly Father has given him full jurisdiction and sway, control, and authority, all right, over these judgments that's about to come to pass upon the earth. All right, so if you have any two working brain cells, all right, it's common sense, man, to kiss the Son, worship YAHAWASHI, get on his good side. All right, get on the side, get on the team of righteousness, team righteousness, man. All right, that's the side that the elect is on, team righteousness. While everyone else is on team wickedness, man, team niggerdom. All right, so it says, verse 1, give the king thy judgments, O power, and thy righteousness unto the king's son. He shall judge thy people with righteousness, and thy poor with judgment. That's what YAHAWASHI is coming to do. All right, he's going to plead the cause for the poor. He's going to plead the cause for the needy. All right, which is the nation of Israel, starting with the elect. Verse 3, the mountains shall bring peace to the people. Talking about these other nations. All right, once the kingdom is set up and firmly established, all right, these other nations, they're going to, bring peace unto us. All right, they're going to bring us their wealth. They're going to bow down. All right, they're going to worship YAHAWASHI. They're going to obey us. It says the mountains shall bring peace to the people, and the little hills by righteousness. See, we're literally reading, all right, concerning what's to come very soon. You know, this that feeling in the air that everybody feels, you know, every day, like, man, I just feel like something about to happen. This is what's about to happen. We're reading it to you, man. All right, so look no further. The throne of David is about to be established. That's how righteousness is going to soon be back in styles, by the throne of David. And it's going to be by judgment, and everybody in their respective orders, in their respective ranks. All right, first and foremost, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, getting the praise that they deserve. All right, the honor and the glory and the magnification that they deserve. And then every man his own order. King David, all right, and the rest of the elect men, the governing body of the nation of Israel. All right, then the large multitude. All right, and then the rest of our people that's going to be born, all right, through the loins, all right, of the elect. All right, and even you heathens, man, y'all going to be set. Of course, y'all going to have to be set back in order. All right, and then in the kingdom of heaven, even the heathen men, they're going to be over their women. See, the kingdom of heaven, a part of righteousness coming back, all right, in style upon the earth. Okay, that order that the Heavenly Father set up, as we read in the book of 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, the Most High, then YAHAWASHI, then man, then woman, then child. That order, that's the pecking order. You see, first starting with the Israelites, and then even you heathen nations. See, we're not going to be okay, wicked like Esau and set households in disarray to where, you know, your women, you know, have more control over you, where your women have equal rights with you. That's wicked, man. That's the main factor on why this world is so fucked up. You know? No one has, you know, any guidance or any inclination of their divine duty on why they were created. You see? But this is what happens when the serpent, okay, is in rulership. And that's a part of their fruit, all right, that was partaken of in the garden, man. All right. And now now we see the bitter end of it, you know? And that's the only way we can truly appreciate righteousness. We had to take this great fall. We had to taste wickedness, you know? See? You ain't gonna hear no damn sirens in the kingdom of heaven, man. You know? You're gonna be hearing ram's horns, okay, to gather together for the different feasts and, you know, Feast of Tabernacles, you know, and inauguration of the kings. You ain't gonna hear no damn sirens, man. That does something to your adrenal system, man. You know, you just hear sirens all day long. You just hear noise. As soon as you wake up, noise. Niggas blasting music. You know, it does something to your psyche, man. It drains you. You know, it's early in the morning. It's over here. It's 8:30. It's still early, man. But yeah, you like, come on, man. See? But this is all results, all right, of a wicked kingdom, man. Ain't no telling what that ambulance is going to right now. It's probably going to gunshot or suicide, or, you know, ain't no telling, man. Or domestic violence. You see? It's wickedness, man. So we're ready for righteousness to come back up on the earth. So this is Psalms chapter 72 again in verse 4. It says, he shall judge the poor of the people. Who's that? The nation of Israel, starting with the elect. He shall save the children of the needy. And we're needy, man. Okay? And we're not going to the damn devil for our needs. We're going to YAHAWASHI. Okay? It says, he shall save the children of the needy and shall break in pieces the oppressor. Okay? And that's what YAHAWASHI is going to do. King Solomon didn't do this. There was no war. There was no skirmishes, all right, during his reign. All right, but upon YAHAWASHI's arrival, he's going to break in pieces, all right, the oppressor. Who's the main oppressor? Esau, Edom. You see? Esau's about to be broken. Verse 5, they shall fear thee as long as the sun and moon endure throughout all generations. See, so the healthy fear of YAHAWASHI is going to be settled and rested back up on this planet. And that is what's going to bring in righteousness, man, forever. Let's grab this in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, and verse 24. It says, both the multitude of the wise, and what's the root of wisdom? The fear of the Lord. See, but that's all going to come through the judgment, all right, that YAHAWASHI is going to bring. It says, but the multitude of the wise, so when you have a lot of wise people, it says, is the welfare of the world. And welfare translates to health. So this is how the world's going to become healthy again. Okay, it's by having, all right, the multitudes, all right, that's dwelling upon this planet, all right, in the fear of the Lord. So this is that's how the earth is going to flourish, man, and be back in health. The birds, they're going to be, you know, singing and praising the Lord. The trees, you read about that in Isaiah the 14th chapter, how even the fir tree shall rejoice. You know, everything is going to be back in a very harmonious state, man, how it's supposed to be. You know, the earth is going to have a vibration, man. It's going to sing. The earth itself, man. As scripture speaks about how even our streets, you know, the streets are going to be, you know, of course, paved with gold, but it's going to, man, the streets of Jerusalem's going to have a vibration, man. You know, that's why this planet was created. This planet wasn't created to be ran by the wicked forever, and you work your ass off and pay taxes to pedophiles. That's not why we're floating on this planet, man. I refuse to believe that, bro. We in this eternal universe, and you're here in the Milky Way galaxy, so-called, on this little planet, you know, and you just floating up here, and you just paying taxes to these weird freaks, man. You know, eavesdropping. You know, you see tumbleweave in the streets. That's not why this planet was created, man. This planet was created for the Son of the Most High, okay, YAHAWASHI, all right, to rule and run it, all right, because he created this place, and the sons of God in their respective orders, all right, to to be managers of the earth, to be the guardians of this earth, man, to tend to the garden. That was Adam's command, okay, to keep the garden. You see, and the Lord is teaching us these responsibilities, all right, as He's given us this beautiful burden, all right, of being in this ministry. You know, it's a burden, but it's a beautiful burden. We're supposed to have a burden, okay? It's work, all right. That's what Adam was commanded to do. He was commanded to, to keep the garden, keep everything in its proper, order. You see, and the Lord is teaching us that through this ministry and through, all right, life experiences that we go through. But let me finish this in Wisdom of Solomon 6 and verse 24. But the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people. And who's that wise king? YAHAWASHI. And that's how everyone is going to be upholding, man. You see? And see, in Esau, he takes pride in Depop, in human Depop. Hopefully you catch the drift. All right, but that's not a glory unto the king, man. Let me get that in the book of Proverbs, the 14th chapter. See, we want to have, okay, a lot of people in the kingdom, but just not a lot of people. Okay, we want to have a lot of godly people. We want to have a lot of obedient people. You see, even amongst the heathen nations. All right, the heathens, they're going to be taken care of to a degree just so they can, serve us. This is Proverbs 14 and 28 in the NLT. A growing population is a king's glory. A prince without subjects has nothing. See? You see, but Esau takes glory in destroying his people, in destroying, the population, man. See, there's no glory in that. Who you gonna have serving you then? You see? So this place, man, is decayed. And as we open up with the scripture, 1 Corinthians 7 and 31, the fashion of this world is fading away. It's passing away, man. This place is played out. Nothing hits no more. Going out to eat, that shit don't hit no more. Hanging out, that shit don't hit. New box, that shit don't hit, man. Nothing gets you excited, man. The only thing that gets you excited is this truth. Being around the Akia, man. Going over these scriptures, man, and getting closer with Yahawah. Everything else is whack as hell, man. So we're ready for righteousness to come back up on the earth. You see? So let's go back here to Psalm 72, and we're gonna get some scriptures off the comment board brothers putting up. Shalom Akim. So this is Psalm 72 again in verse 5. It says, they shall fear thee as long as the sun and moon endure throughout all generations. Meaning what? That the fear of the Lord, okay, all right, you people, you're gonna fear the Lord forever. All right, the fear of the Lord ain't gonna be taken off this planet. See, right now, people don't fear the Lord. You see? All right, but once Yahawah comes back with that judgment, all right, hey, he's gonna set an impression upon everyone's mind, man. And you ain't gonna forget that judgment that he brought here upon Babylon the Great, all right, and in the world of Esau. Everybody's gonna remember that. All you gotta do is look to the west. All right, this is a memorial. America's about to be set forth as a memorial, all right, for what happens whenever wickedness, all right, is upon the earth, man. See? So all you gotta do is in the kingdom of heaven, look to the west. Whenever you have a wicked, evil thought, and we're talking about you heathens, man, because the nation of Israel, we're gonna be changed. It's gonna be impossible for us to go off with those new bodies. But for you heathens, man, whenever you get a wicked, evil thought, you better look to the west. All right? You see? And you're going for a long time, you're gonna see the smoke of America, the torment of America, still going up. You see? So it could be set forth as a monument, and you're gonna remember, but shit, man, I better not do that. I better not do no wickedness, man. See? So righteousness, man, is gonna be the only thing that's gonna be in style. And that's why, starting with, of course, Yahawah, all right, and then 144,000, a large multitude. That's why they're gonna have such a notable reputation and legacy in the kingdom of heaven. Because those are the most righteous spirits, man. You see, because like in this world, the more wickeder you are, the more notoriety and fame you have. Like, look at all these freaks, like Lil Uzi Vert and Sexy Red or Unsexy Red. You got Nasty Nigga X, Lil Nas, Nasty Nigga X. See, people glorify these individuals, man. Because here in this world, when the devil is in rulership, the serpent, Esau, Edom is in rulership, the more wickeder and vile you are, the more fame you get. See, but it's going to be a paradigm shift when Yahawashi comes, man. It's going to be the quite opposite. You see, the more righteous you are, the more fame and notoriety you get, man. See? Let me grab this here in the book of Psalms, the 12th chapter. Psalms 12 and verse 8. It says, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. See, that's why everybody's wicked. Because the vilest man, okay, is exalted. Esau, Edom is exalted. All right, so everybody feels like it's safe to do wickedness. You see? But once Yahawashi comes back, all right, with this paradigm shift, all right, people going to get on that act right. This is Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 28. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves. But when they perish, the righteous, it says, but when they perish, the righteous increase. See? So once the wicked is taken out of rulership, Esau, Edom, that's when righteousness, all right, is going to increase. Because why? That's going to be the new style. That's going to be the new style. People are sheep. All right, the human population is sheep. They only mimic whatever their leader does. See? And that's why, let's get this in the book of Sirach, the 10th chapter. All right, because you pick up the vibration and the energy, all right, of your leader. You see? So with our new leader, all right, Yahawashi, well, he's always our leader. We know that. But, you know, physically coming down here upon the earth with Yahawashi, all right, setting himself up as the Most High setting him up as the king upon the earth, all right, over the throne of David. People going to pick up upon Yahawashi's vibration, even the heathen. And they're going to have no choice, you see, and that's going to be enforced by that iron rod. So this is Sirach 10 and 1. A wise judge will instruct his people. And the government, and what's that word government? Meaning the control of the mind. Government means to control. Ment goes into mentality. All right, so you people's mentality, okay, is meant to be ruled over, meant to be controlled, but in righteousness. See, but Esau has controlled, all right, you people's minds and wickedness, man, through the music, through the food, through the vibrations, through these out of order relationships, so-called. All right. So it's got your mind all messed up, man. So it says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. See? So people are going to pick up upon the vibration of Yahawashi and the governing body of the nation Israel. They're going to get down with the program, man, because that's going to be the only thing that's in style. All right? So let's go back. Let me finish this in Psalm 72. I'm going to read down to like verse 7. So this is Psalm 72 and verse 5 again. It says, they shall fear thee as long as the sun and moon endure throughout all generations. He shall, now check this out. He shall come down. All right. That's exactly how Yahawashi is going to come. All right. Remember Acts, the 1st chapter, the same manner you saw him ascend up, he's going to come back down. You see, he's going to come down up on that fathership. But this is how he's going to come down. It says, he shall come down like rain upon the mown grass, as showers that water the earth. See, he's going to come down like rain upon the mown grass. And who's that mown grass? Who's going to be that mown grass? That is, okay, the people. You see, because people are likened as unto grass. You see, but the Lord's going to, in order for righteousness to flourish upon the earth, you people got to be chopped down. You see, it's like a weed eater. You know, you got your weed eater, which is like a modern day sickle. You know, you go out in your yard and you weed eat. You know, you chopping down that grass. That's how Yahawashi going to be. He's going to mow over these people, man. You see, all the wicked doers, they're going to be, let me get that in Psalms 92. They're going to be chopped down. Though they flourish for a time, they're going to be chopped down. They're going to be hewn. All right. And then everything's going to grow up in righteousness. Yeah, like the brother GMS in his lightning said, righteousness will be the new flex. That's right, man. See, just like wickedness is a new flex, man. You know, you got niggas stunting, all right, in wickedness. You got dope boys, like that song from Master P. Mr. Ice Cream, man. You know, see, that shit is wicked, man. He's talking about selling crack to his own people. You see, but niggas, they flex with that. They love that shit, man. You know? If y'all brothers from the South, I know y'all know that song. Ice Cream Man. You know? Which, you know, it's got a catchy groove to it, but that shit is wicked though. You see? So we're ready for a society to where everything's gonna be righteous, man. The music's gonna be righteous and it's gonna be catchy. It's gonna be, bro, the music, oh my God, man. You can't even put into words how it's gonna be. You know? Can a Matt, bro, if, you know, because you got to give it to these niggas, man. You know, Jake, you know, he's salt. You know, Jake got salt, you know, so Jake can make anything sound and look cool, you know, and fashionable. So just imagine, man, Jake with righteousness, bro. Every Israelite in the kingdom of heaven is righteous, bro. Yo, this earth is going to be, oh my goodness, man, it's going to be, man, that's what we waiting on. That's why we in this truth, man. You know, that's why we in this truth going so hard for YAHAWASHI. You know, because we're hastening in righteousness, as the Apostle Peter said, man. Yep. So this is Psalm 72. Psalm 72 and 7. When the wicked, because I'm just getting this verse because we just read Psalm 72, going into how YAHAWASHI is going to come down upon these people like the mown grass. So this is Psalms 92 and verse 7. When the wicked spring as the grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they shall be destroyed forever. See? So the Lord allowed these people to grow up like the weeds that they are. All right? Just for him to come down and chop them down. All right? And that's what's going to instill the fear of YAHAWASHI upon these people and bring the fear of YAHAWASHI back up on this planet. And that's how you're going to get that multitude of the wise. And that's how the world's going to become healthy again, man. So this is what we're teaching is really, bro, it's truly that. It's the teaching of peace. Jerusalem, man. We're teaching peace. But we're teaching that war has to come first. World War III. The day of doom has to come in order for the good to come, man. This the only way. You know? Because wickedness has gotten out of hand. You know? So the only, you know, remedy for this is just severe, harsh, gruesome, terrible judgments, man. You know? So y'all's brain can be etched with the fear of the Lord, man. That's how the Lord is known. Psalms 9 and 16, the Lord is known by his judgments. So let me finish this in Psalm 72. Psalm 72 and 6. He shall come down like rain upon the mown grass, as showers that water the earth. In his days, check this out, in his days shall the righteous flourish. See, because it's the opposite right now. The righteous, they don't flourish here on this side, man. In the spirit they do, all right, but not in the physical. Okay, you're not promoted on your job because you're righteous. In order to get a promotion at your job, you gotta do some wicked shit. You gotta shit on people, man. You gotta put dirt upon people just so you could come up. You know, now we don't do those things because, you know, we as believers, we're commanded to strive lawfully. But I'm saying that's what these people do. In order to get promoted in this world, okay, you got to do some dirty ass shit, man. You know? But see, up in the days of YAHAWASHI, when he reigns, all right, upon the throne of David, that's when the righteous is going to flourish, man. The righteous, they're not going to be had in hiding anymore. You see? If you're wicked, you're going to be in hiding. See? And we're going to be able to peep that shit out, man, if you wicked. The Lord's going to give us spiritual powers, man. We're going to read your mind, know exactly what you're thinking. And as soon as you have that thought, it's going to be an instant judgment. We ain't waiting, bro. Bro, you're going to get chopped down instantly, man. Sin ain't going to be lingering, you know? That's why we're going to have a lot of heathens in the kingdom, man, because it's going to be a lot of killing, especially those first 1,000 years, man. You know, because you heathens, bro, righteousness has to be enforced in you because you're a beast. So what do you do with a beast? If you bring home a new puppy, if you bring home a puppy, you know, and you bring him in your house, okay, you got to house break it, you know. Don't piss right there. Tell me when you got to go out. See, so you get that newspaper, you get a belt or whatever. You know, you put his nose in it. You see that? Don't do that. And then you whoop him. See, that's what we're going to have to do to you heathen nations, man, because y'all are beast. And we got to house break you, man. Okay? So that's why YAHAWASHI is going to give us that iron rod. You see, the house break these beasts. Get them in righteousness, man. Get them in order and righteousness, man. Because Esau has trained these people to be wicked. You know? So let me finish this. Psalm 72 and 7. It says, in his days shall the righteous flourish, and abundance of peace. Woo! Abundance of peace, man. I want to experience that, man. I want to experience an abundance of peace. Everywhere you look, it's just peace. You could hit up a brother. Hey, what you doing? Hey, I'm about to fly over there to you. You know, just peace on his planet. You know, wherever. It's peace everywhere, man. We don't have that here. Everywhere you look, we're in the valley of the shadow of death. You gotta stay circumspect here, bro. If you ain't watching for 1 second, bro, that's your ass, man. You get in a car wreck. You know, a nigga set you up. A bitch set you up. Any and everything can happen here, man. But see, in the kingdom of heaven, it's going to be an abundance of peace. Scripture says we're going to dwell. Let's get that in Isaiah 32. Isaiah 32 and verse 17. And the work of righteousness shall be peace, and the effect of righteousness, quietness. See, that's what the effect of righteousness is, man. It's quietness. We want quiet. See, case in point, just a few moments ago, if you heard it, it was some ambulance sirens. That's not quiet, man. That's the effect of wickedness. See, but the effect of righteousness is what? Peace and quietness. So let's read this again. It says, and the work of righteousness shall be peace, and the effect of righteousness, quietness and assurance forever. And my people shall dwell in a peaceable habitation. See? Aren't you ready to experience that, Jake? Aren't you tired of living in the damn hood? You know? You don't know anything about a peaceable habitation, man. All you hear at night is gunshots, you know? Females screaming and all different types, you know? Sirens. But the Lord, man, he's about to put us back, man. He's about to put us back in order. Starting with the elect. As the elect, they're the only ones that's desiring, okay, a righteous world, a righteous society, man. It says, and my people shall dwell in a peaceable habitation and in sure dwellings. Yeah, sure dwellings. You ain't got to worry about getting evicted. You're not sure if you could pay your rent next month. Like, damn, man. No, it's going to be sure dwellings. You're going to have your own palace or palaces. Your own palaces, you know. And it's going to be sure dwellings. It's going to be yours. Given to you as a gift. All right, by YAHAWASHI, man. It says, and my people shall dwell in peaceable habitation and in sure dwellings and in quiet resting places. Man, bro. See, that's the effect of righteousness. So why in the hell would you not want that? See, if you're not down with this truth, you're a complete demon. Point blank period, man. All right, because we're preaching righteousness. We're preaching peace, man. Quietness. Proving that you people just love wickedness, man. You love this chaotic, toxic environment, man. So let me finish this in Psalm 72 and 6. So like in verse 7. In his days shall righteousness flourish and abundance of peace, so long as the moon endureth. And the moon is going to endure forever. Why? Because the Lord promised that the nation of Israel, the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is going to dwell forever, man. All right, so that means what? This is sure to come to pass. And it's going to, once the Lord brings it, it's never again leaving the planet Earth, man. You ain't going to have to worry about the sons of God taking another fall, listening to the serpent. No, the serpent is going to be back in his order, man. He's going to be, okay, he's going to be on his belly in the dust. Exactly where he belongs, man. Below every other heathen nation. And after 1,000 years, he's going to be deleted. See? Got sirens again. This is the effect of wickedness, man. This is what happens in a fallen society when the sons of God are out of order. See? You're not going to hear that in the kingdom of heaven, man. It's going to be quiet. It's going to be quiet, man. Your women going to be quiet. You ain't going to be waking up to no nagging ass woman. You see? She going to be quiet in order. Barakar Tawab, Adawan. That's all you're going to hear. That's all you're going to hear. As soon as you wake up, you're going to be like Eddie Murphy in that movie Coming to America. As soon as he wake up, you know, had the beautiful symphony, you know, beautiful symphony playing. As soon as he woke up, you know, had his slippers, you know, they came over to put the slippers, you know. That's how it's going to be in the kingdom of heaven, man. You see? So we're going to be in glorified bodies. You see? We're going to have our own bathers. Yeah, man. Let me chill. But yeah. So let me get a few here off the comment board, man. Let's see. Hey, man. Yeah, the waterfall, these precepts out here. Beautiful, beautiful scriptures. Let's get a few. Yeah, the brother GMS standing firm too. The brother Benaiah out here in Dallas put up Isaiah 26:9 in the NOT. All night long I search for you, right? And we're in that night season. That's why King David says in Psalms 30:5, weeping may endure for a night. All right, but joy cometh in the morning. We're in that night right now where we're weeping. We're seeking Yahawah. We're crying out unto him. You see, this the time of darkness, man, that the prophet Ezra was talking about. But morning is coming. That bright and morning star is coming, and that's when joy is going to come. Judgment is going to come. So it says, all night long I search for you. In the morning I earnestly seek for Yahawah. For only when you come to judge the earth will people learn what is right. Ooh, that's it right there, man. Yeah. See, proving that judgment is the only thing that's going to, reset this place. That's the only thing that makes sense at this point, because things have gotten way far out of hand. See, so the Lord's going to hit that. He's going to hit his reset button. All right, not the W to the E to the F. All right, council's reset. All right, no, and there will be a great reset. All right, but it's going to be the throne of David. You see that new world. Okay, to the order. All right, as you read about in 2 Ezra 13. You see, let me get that real quick. Let's see. Here you go. I'm gonna turn here in the GNT. Second Ezra 13 and 25 in the GNT. It says, this is the meaning of the vision. The man you saw coming up out of the sea represents the one whom the Most High has kept ready for many ages. And who's that one that the Most High, Yahawah, has kept ready for many ages? His son, Yahawashi. As you read in Acts the 17th chapter, for he has appointed a day in which he would judge the world in righteousness by that man. You see, that's talking about Yahawashi. That's why you read Revelation 19:11, it says, for he shall come and judge and make war with the world in righteousness, and smite the earth with the rod of his mouth. See? So it says, this is the meaning of the vision. The man you saw coming up out of the sea represents the one whom the Most High Yahawah has kept ready for many ages. And Yahawashi, man, he's been ready for this for a very long time. See? That's why you read in Isaiah 63:4, he says, for the day of vengeance burneth in my heart, man. Yahawashi is ready, man. That Lion of the tribe of Judah is ready to come back and pounce upon this place, man, and conquer. You see, lions have an innate, spirit inside of them to just conquer land. See, so Yahawashi is ready, but he's waiting. So if he could wait, we could wait. But we know it's very soon, man. All right, we know it's very soon. So it says, he will free the world he created. See, proving that this world is in captivity right now. Okay, starting with the sons of God, we're in captivity. We're in captivity in our flesh, in our minds. We're in captivity towards Esau, Edom. Gravity got a hold on to us. Jake is in captivity to his damn woman. He shouldn't be, but Jake is. So Yahawashi is coming back to liberate the sons of God, to reverse the curse. And it all started with him defeating death on the cross, man, and resurrected. So it says, he will free the world he created and establish the new order. Woo! That's it. He will establish the new order for those who survive, which is the elect. And we was just reading about that new order in Psalm 72. All right. Although it was a psalm of David for his son Solomon, that was a prophecy concerning what? Okay, Yahawashi. All right, Solomon, if you can receive it, that's a prophecy of what he's about to do. So we was just reading that new order, parts of it, that is. See? So yeah, man. But all that's going to come by judgment. All right. All that's going to come by judgment. So let's get a few more off the comment board. The brother, oh yeah, let's get this in the GNT. The brother GMS Standard Firm put up Wisdom Solomon 6:24 in the GNT. Says, no, indeed, the more wise people there are, the safer the world would be. Yeah, the world's going to be safe. You ain't going to have to worry about, damn, man, where my son at? Where my daughter at? You know, hopefully ain't no damn predator, you know, trying to, you know, get them. You know, you ain't going to have to worry about none of that shit, man. You know, our children, they're going to be able to play with serpents and aspen, you know, lions in the kingdom of heaven. You know, hell, you may not see your son for 100 or 1,000 years, you know, but when y'all see each other again, he's going to be, you know, he's going to be good. He's going to be a king over his own province. He's going to come back, you know, with his sons, with his daughter, you know, say, Abba, you know, look what I've been, you know. We ain't going to have to worry about, you know, having to keep a tight restraint up on our sons and daughters like that in the kingdom of heaven. They're going to be safe, man. You see? You ain't going to have to worry about locking your doors, locking your chariot doors, you know. You know? Because shit, if you don't lock your doors here, bro, and you just ask for somebody to come in and break in your shit, man. See? We ain't going to have no locks in the kingdom of heaven. Our gate's going to be open continually. You see? Hell, I remember there was even a point, you know, even here, not too long ago. I remember my grandparents telling me they grew up in the time, which I can't even imagine, but they told me they grew up in the time to where they didn't even have to lock their doors, man. They used to just sleep with their doors wide open and get some fresh air, you know, at night. But shit, do that shit now. You know? So it says, the more wise people are, the safer the world will be. A sensible king can be depended on to give his people this kind of security, man. See? And that sensible king is YAHAWASHI. And he's going to give his people, all right, that security, man. See? And our people love this false sense of security that the so-called white man Esau gives them. You see? But you see what this false sense of security leaves you, man. It just leaves you even more througher, more broker, more confused. You see? But we're ready for that real security, man. It's going to come from YAHAWASHI and the governing body of the nation of Israel, man. Yep. So, yeah, the brother GMS Tazadat put up Proverbs 14:28 in the KJV. It says, in the multitude of people is the king's honor, but in the want of people is the destruction of the prince. That's right, man. As we got in the KJV, you know, a growing population is a king's glory, man. So we want a growing population. We want a flourishing society. Even the heathens, man, they're not going to be eating no damn G to the M to the O foods. We're not going to, you know, give them fluoridic water. You know, no, we need you heathen healthy and strong, man. Okay, to fulfill your purpose and lot in life, and that's to serve us. You see? And we're gonna allow you to have your little families, man. You know, your little families. That's what Jake do. You know, when you talk down on your little family. Yeah, we're gonna let you have your little families and your little provinces. You know, and it's gonna be order. Your women's gonna be under you, and your children gonna have to obey you. If not, there's gonna be judgment. You know, ain't gonna be no damn cross dressing, no weird shit. Like, ain't gonna be no weird shit in the kingdom of heaven, man. Everybody's gonna be normal and regular in righteousness, man. This place is weird, bro. Yep, brother GMS Virgin Island Straight Gate put up Psalms 119 on 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. See, and us, you know, having the unction, all right, through the mercy and spirit of YAHAWASHI, as the Lord has given us apostles and bishops and elders, and us, you know, reading these scriptures, this is what's, you know, giving us this strong desire and thirst and hunger for righteousness, man. You see, by reading these precepts. And this is what causes us to hate this false way, of living, man. Let me get that in Matthew the 5th chapter. That's why YAHAWASHI said what he said in Matthew the 5th chapter. That's what we're about to get. Matthew 5:6. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness. Woo! For they shall be filled. Yo, that's what we're doing right now. The reason why I'm making this lesson, and the reason why you Akim and Aquat are tuning in, because we hunger and thirst after righteousness, man. You see? And Yahawashi promised we're going to be filled, man. So this is going to come to pass. All right? Esau's not going to fill his belly. We're going to fill, the Lord's going to fill our belly with righteousness, man. I want to get this word thirst, okay? Because he says, blessed are ye that do hunger and thirst. Whenever you thirst for something or whenever you're hungry, why is that? It's because you don't have that. You know, you're in want of it. You see? So this world is, you know, we don't have righteousness here. So we're craving it. So this word thirst in the Greek is Strong's G1372, dipsaio. Dipsaio. It says to suffer thirst. It says figuratively, those who are said to thirst, who painfully feel their want of. See? And we have a painful desire to want to feel righteousness, man. You know? So this is what it means to thirst after righteousness, man. We're ready for a world to where righteousness is going to be back in style, man. Who else is desiring this right now? As we speak, who else is desiring righteousness to come up on the earth? By Yahawashi. You see? None of these people are, man. You see? So this is why the Lord's just he's going to mow through their ass. You see? He's going to hit that great reset button, man. So it says, figuratively, those who are said to thirst, who painfully feel their want of and eagerly long for. See, these are the things you're supposed to lust after. Because lust just means a strong desire. See, we lust after righteousness, man. We lick our chops at it, man. So it says, those things by which the soul is refreshed, supported, and strengthened. So when it comes, we're going to be refreshed. It's going to be a breath of fresh air, man. That big sigh of relief when it comes. See? But we're looking for that judgment to come. This is why we speak about judgment. Brothers, we just don't speak about judgment because we're just, you know, gloomy and, you know, we just like, we just want to see people die. No, there's a reason behind it, man. Because we want this to come to pass. We want righteousness to be set up, man. You know? So this is why we measure the times diligently, you know, and we report about how close we're getting to judgment. Because, like it says in 2 Ezra 7th chapter, all right, for the day of doom shall be the end of this time and the beginning of immortality to come to pass. See? So yeah, man, we're going to leave it right there. All right, hey, at the water for all the precepts, comments, you know, the water Akim. All right, you righteous Akim, man. And few Akwath. You know? Yeah, this was a necessary fall that we had to take, you know, as the sons of God. This is the only way we could truly appreciate righteousness, you know, because at first we had it in the garden. We had it. Starting with Adam, he had it, man. You know, but it was taken for granted. And allowed that woman, and listen to that damn woman, man. You see? See? So that's why, man, a major part of getting this earth back in order and in righteousness, you women gotta get in order, man. And you will get in order. Okay? It ain't no damn option, man. Everybody's gonna get back in order. The men, you're gonna be men again. You're gonna reclaim your nuts, man. Alright? Ain't gonna be no fucking weak men in the kingdom of heaven. You know? And you women, you're gonna embrace your femininity. Alright? Shut your ass up, get in order, guide the household, teach the children, and you children, okay, you ain't gonna have nothing to say. Alright? It's gonna be nothing but respect for your parents, man. Alright? And that is how righteousness is gonna be flourished, okay, up on the earth again, man. And you heathens, you're gonna be far out of sight and out of mind. All we want to hear, okay, is some trials clanging up against some bricks, you see, and putting our stones in order in the kingdom of heaven, polishing up our stones, polishing up our streets. You know, I don't want to see no heathen in the kingdom, man. You know, just imagine just waking up right now and you don't see no Edomites, bro. That's heaven in and of itself. Seeing no so-called white people, man. That's how it's gonna be in the kingdom of heaven. You just wake up, see the Akim, you know, see Yahawashi. I got a meeting with Yahawashi in the morning. You know, I'm gonna sit at that long golden table. You know, I'm just, speaking as a man, but, that's how we're going to wake up, man. Got a meeting with YAHAWASHI. We're going to discuss the next big thing we're going to do up on the earth, instead of having to go to work, man. See, we're ready for a change. All right, but hey, we're going to leave it right there. Abaratazah, you Akiman Akwath were edified. Till next time, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto my power, Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Hakodash. I want to give double honor to my beloved apostle, Elder Great Millstone, Mawaf Lababal, Shalom, and the water for all the precepts, Akim, the water.